Thank you, everyone. Court is now in session. What's happening, everybody? It is time for some more college basketball. On the docket today, we have the NCAA Men's March 28th. We have two different tournaments going on tonight. Of course, I hope you enjoyed my video yesterday from the NIT, and man, ended up hanging out down in Austin for a little bit. It's fun when you get to go home and you know all those areas. I ended up going over to Croton Point for about an hour and having a nice cigar. And of course, I planned that. That was the whole part of my plan. And ended up going down to Larchmont for a second, parking my car, taking the train into the city. What a night. Getting to see Tony Carr in person, my man, paging number 10. How about Tony Carr last night? Pretty good, huh? Penn State and Utah will be in the finals in the NIT tomorrow night. And man, I'm looking forward to that, of course. And you realize that those tickets were only $50 for me to get in that place at the NIT. You think, oh, it's New York. Those tickets are probably $500. Now, $50, baby. 50. All right, so tonight on the docket, I see we have two semifinal games in the CIT. And of course, we have the second game of a possible 2 out of 3 scenario with San Francisco and North Texas in the CBI. And man, of course, the Dons came away with that victory in game 1, which means the hardware will be in the building. Who doesn't love a nice trophy? So, of course, the job for North Texas tonight is to make sure the San Francisco Dons don't walk out of their building with a piece of hardware. So, can North Texas stop them? Well, they're favored. The line setters are obviously coming out and saying, well, they're at home, they're a different team at home, and they are a different team at home, for sure. After seeing that game and knowing that San Francisco can definitely control North Texas, I think even no matter what court that was on, granted they were at home, coming back to North Texas, like I said, isn't the easiest place to play. Of course, competition level, you can make what you want out of that whole thing. North Texas does enjoy home cooking, but man, like I said, after seeing San Francisco play that first game, 3.5 points here. We got a 3.5-point line. You know me and underdogs, especially with the team that's already beaten them once. You showed me you can beat them, and I get the whole home court thing, but I'm not convinced that North Texas is ready for what San Francisco is going to bring tonight. I'm not going to go bold and go money line like I did with Utah last night, but tell you what, take San Francisco tonight to cover that 3.5, and just in case they do walk out of that place with a nice piece of hardware, either way, we're going back to San Francisco. It's just a matter of if North Texas is going to join them back on the trip. This 2 out of 3 scenario is kind of cool, I got to admit. But San Francisco, plus 3.5 tonight. Fair line to the courts. We suggest it to anybody out there. So, let's turn our attention to the CIT. Semifinals are upon us tonight. Of course, the 7 p.m. tip is at Vine Center in Virginia. And I'll tell you what, Liberty will play host to Loyola Chicago tonight, or Illinois Chicago. And I'll tell you what, man, didn't take the court but a few moments here to realize where we were going with this one. The total is 144, 144 and a half, 145. I guess it depends on what book you use, what time you'll get this play in. The judge is going to go right at that total. Well, listen. You can get all into the Liberty defensive stats all that you want. The 68.5 points per game a night, or 63.5 points per night that they give up is pretty decent. Of course, again, level of competition. You have to talk about the teams that they play and how they shut those teams down, whether they're good shooting teams or not as well. The conference that they play in isn't really known for a strong offense. And keeping teams to 63, 64 points a night in that conference really isn't that tough. And Liberty's pretty good. We know they barely made it. Radford ended up taking their bid. But you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm still not. That 13-6 home record really isn't all that convincing to me. I'm telling you what. I think Loyola or Illinois Chicago should have plenty of success on this court tonight. The court finds the line setters guilty of giving us a reasonable line on this total. 144, 144 and a half. Over. Play the over. And by the time that game's done, you can just go back to your sports book and say, hey, look at that. That came in. What was next? What did he do next? Yeah. Next is the other game in that tournament over there. That's going to be fun, too. Tell you what. What do we got? Bank of Colorado Arena. Northern Colorado. Taking out Sam Houston State over in Greeley. Of course, I know it well. I've been over there a few bit. I lived in Montana for 10 years. I know Colorado. I lived in Arizona for 3 years. I know that whole little region pretty well. So I'll tell you what we have here is Sam Houston State getting 10.5 points. Listen, let's start breaking. If you want to start breaking down these two teams, where's the discrepancy that gives any one of them the balls to have 10.5 points favored? No. Line setters, you're guilty of giving us double digits. No. Sam Houston State can certainly, if this game were in Sam Houston State, I don't think they'd be favored by 10.5, and if they were, I'd be taking Northern Colorado to cover it. So if you're just because the game's in Northern Colorado doesn't make me think that Sam Houston State's going to play any worse. You know what you do here? Listen, you know what? There are hunches that all of us have in life. That's how you get through it. But the hunch I have in this game is to move it to 11. Move it to 11. I get that there's you pay the $10 for it. It's minus 115. If you take that 10.5, move it up to plus an 11, and take Sammy Houston State to cover that line. Now, what, they can't beat them? Listen, you know I always take dogs, not just to cover lines. I think my dogs can find ways to win when I put a dog on the board. I'm putting Sam Houston State on the board. I'm getting double digits and change with 11 points. They're going to hang with them all night, in my opinion. So the court says take it. All right, that's going to actually do it for today. Of course, the NIT final is tomorrow at MSG. I'm not going to make it down there, but I will tell you that I'm leaving for Chicago on Saturday. Yes, of course, baseball segments are going to be coming your way here pretty shortly. I might even bust one out tonight for opening day tomorrow. I'm going to try and do my best for that. Man, kind of getting ready for Chicago. It's taking up some time, but we already have arrangements to come to you from Harry Carey's restaurant in Chicago, right? Oh, man. Of course, the Cubs won't be in town when we go there, but that's okay. I'm not there to see the Cubs. I'm not a big Cubs fan. Of course, Wrigley Field is Wrigley Field. I got no problem going over there and saying I was there. I've been to so many stadiums. That's one I haven't been to, so it'd be kind of cool to hang out there and see Wrigley Field. Put on the list! All right, that will wrap up the case of NCAAB-March28. And, of course, get your 3 plays in tonight. Enjoy these tournaments. Of course, the other 2 tournaments are going to be wrapping up here pretty shortly. Stay tuned for them either here or on my betting blog. I'll be giving out advice and all sorts of plays for everybody, but that'll do it for today. Court is adjourned! Get everybody out of here. Have a nice day, everybody. We'll see you later. Ciao!